How's it going, everyone? Thanks for stopping by the channel. It's Moodog from Moodog's Frugal RCs. We are in the research kitchen today doing another rig rundown. Before we get into this video, guys, I want to thank you guys for stopping by the channel. Thank you guys out there for the kind words and the love you're showing me in some of the comments. I really appreciate that. And hey guys, if you haven't already subscribed and you're watching this video right now, I really appreciate you considering doing that. It helps me out a lot. It offsets some of the cost of running this channel, and I really appreciate that. So hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to tap on that notification bell so you're getting all my content as soon as I drop it onto YouTube. With that being said, guys, we are looking at a 1/14 scale four-wheel drive, what they're calling a climbing car. This is the Conqueror. I don't know if that's a G, or a weird Conqueror. I think they meant to say Conqueror, but that's a huge typo right on the front there. This one is built by Subotech, but being sold and rebranded by HisHer Toy on Amazon. I will post a link in the description if you guys want to check this one out on your own. It is not an affiliated link, so I get nothing from pointing you in that direction. So 1/14 scale on this brushed motor. We have a 2.4 gigahertz signal coming from the transmitter. This has oil-filled shocks, so we'll get into that a little later, and a just standard 5-wire servo on this one. Just quickly going over the box, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, guys. So 380 size brush motor on this one. I mentioned before the hydraulic shock absorbers, and I will explain that to you in just a second. We have independent suspension all the way around, kind of a swing arm design in the back here. If you guys think about the WL Toys 12428 across Buggy, kind of the same design as far as the suspension goes in the rear. Rubber tires with foam inserts on this. Just a really nice built vehicle. A lot of metal parts as well. The back's got all the warnings. This side's just showing the transmitter and its functionality. Other side here is going to show a couple of views of the vehicle. One without the body kit on it, and then one with the full body kit on, just to kind of give you an idea what it looks like. That's all we pretty much need to look at on here. Let's see what comes inside. Alright guys, inside the box you get this little packet here containing the owner's manual. We have a couple of tools in here as well. Let's go ahead and open this up real quick and I'll show you guys what comes with this. Now Subotech in the past has always been pretty good at providing a lot of extras in their kits. This one looks like it's going to have kind of the minimal accessories, but that's fine. This manual is going to cover two vehicles, the Bg1520, which we're looking at today, as well as the Bg1521, which I believe is a larger scale, possibly 12 scale Jeep vehicle. But all the information we went over before is on the bottom here. I forgot to mention that this is a ready to run package. It's all built, ready to go. You just have to supply the batteries for your remote. 7.4 volt, 650 milliamp per hour lithium ion cell, and that's pretty much it. This is going to be pretty much like the manual I showed you guys recently in the video I put up for the Subotech Tornado. And I'll post a link up in the right hand corner. I actually put a card up here for you guys if you want to check that one out. But nicely done on this. Some of the English in here is kind of broken, so the Chinese to English translation is, it's okay. It's not too bad. It's easy enough to understand if you're looking at the pictures in conjunction with what you're reading. So pictures kind of tell a better story sometimes than some of the translated English. It's just giving you some basic information, what to do, what not to do, how to charge your battery, how to basically get this thing from box to dirt or pavement as it is, pretty easily for the novice. It goes into a little bit more detail on the transmitter. You have, once you get back farther here, how to install batteries, how to charge them. Now you got the build sheet. So this is an actual build sheet here, guys. This would be if you were to get this in a kit form, and I'm not sure it's available here in the States in a kit form, but if you did get it in a kit form, or if you tore it completely apart, you have all the build information here, along with corresponding part numbers on all the component groups in the vehicle. So really nicely done on this. Towards the back here we have our parts grid, so all of our numbers are highlighted in blue, and all of the pictures again rendered by computer. So very nicely put together here, and very comprehensive. So all the parts you need to build this vehicle and the 1521 are going to be in the pages towards the back here. Nice one to hang on to. Don't throw that one away. We'll set that up to the side for now. You're getting this little goodie bag here, guys. This is going to contain a plastic four-way wrench. You have 2 Allen keys as well as 4 extra body clips. Can't have too many of those. You're getting kind of this longer screwdriver here. This is a Phillips head. The transmitter this comes with, guys, pretty straightforward. It is a Subotech transmitter. You are lacking a bind button on here, so this will bind automatically once you turn the power on to the transmitter and then the car. You have steering dual rate, you have steering trim, your power on and bind LED, and your power switch below that. Fake shark fin antenna. You have a right-hand side drive steering wheel. That does not have a foam covering on it, but a nice return spring. Again, with the trigger on here, guys, feels good, not crunchy or scratchy. You will need to supply 3 AA batteries to power this thing up that are not included in the kit. All right, guys, taking a look at the car, we can see a really nice looking body design on here. As mentioned before, we have foam inserts in these tires. These are being held on by 4mm block nuts, so very nice on that. So the body looks pretty good on this one too, guys. Nice quality paint on here. This is not sticker applied, so you don't have to worry about anything peeling off of there. There was a kind of an overspray film on this vehicle that I did peel off prior to filming this, so keep that in mind if you guys are going to put your own decals on the vehicle. You have a driver and a passenger head inside here. Looks pretty cool. And you guys can see some of that film still left on there. I have to peel off, but kind of a carbon fiber look as well in some spots on here, but a really nice charcoal gray and red and white kind of paint job on here. Looks pretty cool. Back of the vehicle, you can see this does have a pumpkin differential and then metal shafts coming out of the center diff. Again, it's kind of a design the same as the Across Buggy. If you guys remember that, the 12428 by WL Toys. Kind of the same idea for the suspension on this one. So nicely done on that. On the front here, we can see we have a pretty stout bumper that is housing 2 working LEDs. So I like to see that. That's kind of cool. Looking at the bottom of the vehicle, guys, again, if you guys have ever seen the WL Toys 12428 Across Buggy, kind of the same idea here. Metal drive shaft, metal shaft in the front, which you can't see, but I'll try to give you a picture of that in just a second. Your power on and off switch on here as well. The Lexan on here, guys, is a little on the flimsy side, but I think because it does have a roll cage, and I think this will be fine. You just have the 2 pins up in front here, guys. And this whole shooting match just kind of hinges up and out of the way. So taking a look at the workings of the vehicle, you can see we have a 380 size brushed motor along with a blue anodized heatsink installed on there. Your ESC and receiver combo is mounted up on top here, and we have modular plugs for all electrical component groups on here. So we have for our 5-wire servo, here we have for our light kit in the front, and this is going to go to our power on and off switch. So I like the modular design of these, very easy to replace parts if you wanted to do so. You have the 2 plug-in kind of leads here coming from the motor to the ESC, and you also have your battery connection. I'll show you that in just a second. But you can see that this does have oil-filled shocks, and when I say oil-filled, when I got the vehicle and I saw on the packaging that it said hydraulic shocks, I wanted to do some further investigation. So I did pull the top caps off of here and have a look inside. There are indeed seals on the top caps here, and there is an internal wiper plunger system that will push and pull oil. There was no oil, however, so I did fill this with just some standard 40 weight oil that I have here in the research kitchen, and you have a really nice feeling suspension on this one, guys. Nice damping, you can see. So we're not too bouncy on that at all. So I think that's a really nice feature for this vehicle, is having the hydraulic shocks out of the box. Taking a look a little bit closer, we can see that we have a metal drive shaft. You guys can see that down in there. I hope you guys can pick that up. My lighting's not the greatest in here. There we go. I think you can see it right down in there. There's a metal drive shaft. There's also a metal half shaft going to the back, as I showed you before. Our differentials are front and rear. This is claimed to have ball bearings or ball bearing cages all the way through the drivetrain on here, and metal diffs. We have metal CVDs in the front here, so nice to see that. A lot of metal parts on here, guys, metal reinforcements throughout this whole vehicle, which I like a lot. It's got some decent weight to it too, guys. It doesn't feel too light or too flimsy. This one is going to include the 7.4 volt, 650 milliamp per hour lithium ion cell battery. You can make an adapter here to adapt to a LiPo battery, and there's plenty of room in this battery compartment back here, guys, for a larger size battery. I think this one will accommodate even a 1500 milliamp per hour LiPo, so we would fit this in like so, and then the wires have plenty of room to lay this way. You just have to build yourself an adapter or change this plug out if you wanted to do so. I tend to want to build more adapters and cut plugs off. I like to keep the integrity of the vehicle should I ever go to sell it, so that's kind of one of the reasons that I build the adapter on here. But you can see that fits a battery like that with plenty of room to spare, so nice on that. I think they were planning on people probably upgrading the batteries on these. It does come with a charger as well. This is your standard USB to 2-pin charger, actually a 3-pin charger on here. So we're looking at 5 volts, 0 to 5 to 1 amp for the input, and the output on here 7.4 at 1 amp. So about 2.5 or so hours to charge a fully flat battery. So that's kind of cool there. So let's go ahead and just pop this back in, get the battery in place, hit that toggle, you're locked and loaded. All right, guys, I'm going to get this buttoned up and we'll go ahead and do that bench test. Stay tuned. All right, first thing we're going to do is go ahead and turn our power switch on the transmitter. You can see the flashing amber light there. Set that off to the side for a second or two, and we go ahead and turn the power on our vehicle. And you could hear, I suppose you guys heard the servo activating. We should be bound up. Yep, and that light is solid now, so I think we are good to go. Let's check the steering. Seems a little bit kind of stuttery or ratchety sounding, but not too bad, and very responsive, so I like to see that. That's a 5-wire nylon geared servo, so that's pretty impressive for what it is. Now let's go ahead and start this thing up so you guys can hear what it sounds like. So it does have forward and reverse. So let's go ahead and wrap this one up for now. Thank you guys for stopping by. I appreciate each and every one of you. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you all in the next one, and God bless the Republic.